You've worked with Disney before on Moana and Mary Poppins Returns. How is the experience of Encanto different?
The biggest difference with Encanto, between Encanto and Moana, was I was just there from the beginning on Encanto. I had an amazing time working on Moana, and but they were several years in development when they hired me, and it was my first time working for Disney as a composer, and it was a dream come true. And it went well. It didn't go Frozen supernova well, but it went well enough that I said, on the next one, can I just be there from the beginning? And so it was really exciting to work with Jared and Charisse and Byron. And our thesis was, can we get a whole family on screen? A lot of what happens when you're developing story in the animated space, but in real life too, in live action movies, is you get very focused on like the main character and their journey, and other characters fall away as you winnow down the journey. And we kind of made this challenge to ourselves, like, how many major characters in an intergenerational family can we hang on to and survive that process and bring that complexity of the complexity of being in a family, and bring that to the screen. So that was our mandate to ourselves.
What do you hope audiences take away from the film?
I hope audiences feel seen by the film. Honestly, I think that anyone who has any family members can relate to it. And I think there's always the tension between how we see ourselves versus how our family sees us and the roles we play in our family. And everyone has to navigate that gulf over the course of their lives and continually as they grow up and change. I think about seeing my older sister become a mother for the first time, and now she's not just my big sister, she's a mom, and watching how and allowing for growth within your family roles. That's the hardest thing to do, because it's so easy for us to freeze our image of each other, and I think that's to see each other more fully. That's the goal.
What's the most important aspect of creating a great Disney song?
The most important aspect of creating a great Disney song is no fear. It's intimidating to write for Disney. There's no way around it. You know that your work is going to go on a playlist with some of the greatest movie music of all time. Your song is going to be, if you do it right, is going to be up there with Circle of Life and Into the Unknown and Remember Me and When You Wish Upon a Star. That's scary. So you have to kind of clear all that out of your head. And really just focus on your story and the journey your characters are going through.
Which of the songs posed the biggest challenge to you, Lin?
The song I wrote the most drafts for was Mirabelle's Waiting on a Miracle, which is sort of the song that launches into her journey in the movie. And, it's How Far I'll Go was the toughest one for Moana too. I just think there's something really intimidating to me about those like Disney I Want songs. I think of Hunchback's Out There. I think I Just Can't Wait to Be King. And it makes me procrastinate a lot. So those are always the scariest, because there's such an incredible, and it's only fear-based. It's just the Disney tradition is so strong that that you can't just write a good song for that slot. You've got to write a song that does exactly what the character needs to do, and that soars. And no one teaches you how to make something soar. You just have to find the way in which that character soars.
What's the biggest driver in your creative life?
Honestly, I think I learned pretty early that you can't control the success or failure of a thing. Like once you're done, it's the world's, and they get to do whatever they want, and it's their right to do whatever they want. So all I can control is who I'm in the room with and how much can I learn. And that's really what sort of is my guiding principle for picking projects.
What moves you most when you're writing something, whether it's a song, a play, a musical, movie?
What moves me most? I think there's always a moment, if you're really cooking with gas, where you stop deciding what the characters should say, and the characters start to become so real that you're taking dictation from them.
Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton.
Hamilton, massive success. How did that change what you wanted to say with your art?
I don't know that it did. I do know that the lessons I try to take from it are take more vacations, because the best idea I ever had in my life happened while I was on my first vacation from In the Heights in Mexico with my wife and on a hammock. So like, honestly, taking breaks is when, and playing and doing just normal life stuff is when the good ideas come in. You have to not work all the time to make room for that. And two, if it feels right to you, it's going to feel right to someone else. I cannot imagine how many friends were worried about me when I gave them the pitch. I'm working on this hip hop musical about the nation's founders. That is not a good elevator pitch. But I knew that Hamilton's life, there was something inherently musical about the trajectory of his life. And I'm glad I stuck to it, because it did resonate with other folks in a way beyond anything I could have imagined. And so it's really about just, I think it's always about honing your gut, because the world's not always going to agree with your gut, but someone out there is going to resonate with what is keeping you up at night.